Think about that for a moment. The God who made everything, every little atom, every planet, all the asteroids that are flying by us right now, the God who knows the hair on your head, every hair on your head, and knows the hair on every other 8 billion person head in the world. That God, that same God, wants to have a conversation with you, and He wants to actually speak into your life. And if that's been a challenge for you in the past, if it's been difficult for you to make that connection or to sustain that connection, well, welcome home, because that was true for me too. I'm going to tell you my story in a little bit, but I didn't even believe God spoke. I like literally like 15 years ago, I would have told me now that I was a heretic. I did not believe that the gifts of God worked in today's day and age. I mean, I was wrong about that, but here we are now with me being able to teach you this stuff, and I'm just telling you, it's far simpler than you think it is to have a conversation with God. And my challenge for you is to learn it, do that, but also to implement it, take it into action. And the way you'll do that, by the way, there is a series of audios with beautiful music in the background, with me speaking over it, and a microphone that's just very similar to the one that I'm using now. And I call these guided conversations. It's an opportunity for you to just put some headphones on, to close your eyes, and to have a conversation with God in an interrupted, undistracted space. I'll be talking more about this later in the audios, but one of the epidemics in the world today is the massive distraction that we live in. If you wanted to walk from point A to point B 200 years ago, you either walked or you took a horse. But either way, you had an hour or two, maybe an afternoon, maybe a week, where you were just alone with yourself and your thoughts. And that was the world that we were created for. This massively distracted world that we're in right now it is very hard for our minds to slow down enough to have a conversation, a connected conversation with God. And you'll see as we go, part of the strategy is to find yourself in an undistracted place and to reconnect with God. By the way, the audios are completely free bonus as a part of this audio series. You can get those at godtalksbonus.com. That's the website where those are hosted on. It's godtalksbonus.com. And you'll see there's 7 audios. They're 20 minutes each. And they guide you in a conversation with God about the 7 topics that you read about in the book. And I'm just telling you, I've had atheists. I laugh when I still tell this story because, again, 15 years ago, I would have thought this was crazy. I didn't even think God spoke to anyone but His people. But I've literally an atheist who have gone into the very first exercise and heard from God almost immediately. I've taught tens of thousands of people this process, literally. And I've only had like 1 or 2 people that I know of that it didn't work for them. Everyone else, it was just flowed freely. And by the way, these weren't just believers. These were like atheists and agnostics and Hindus and Buddhists and skeptics and everyone in between.